Well, hello everyone. It's been a while since I posted something to this channel, and I figured, I've been seeing a lot of these driving vlogs lately, and thought it would be real cool to do one. But my camera's shaking around back there a little bit. So yeah, I decided to do one, and what better time to do one than in the car I just bought 543 miles ago. This is, if you don't follow me on Facebook, everybody on Facebook already knows because I always religiously post pictures of my cars. It's a 2015 Dodge Challenger, and I like it a lot. It's a little special. You won't find another one like it in the world, which is kind of cool. It's pretty fast. It's pretty fun. And yeah. Anyway, I'm not 100% sure what. Oh God, that's a fluffy dog. I'm not 100% sure what to talk about because I'm going on not a trip. It's not a long trip. It's I don't know, a 10 or 15 minute trip, and as you can see out the window, this is the view of my home, my town that I live in. And yeah, I like it. It's a little town. It's got the little small town feeling, kind of, and yeah, it's fun. We've got like 2 gas stations, which is pretty cool. We've got a stop sign. Actually, there's more than just one stop sign, really. But oh, you know what? I want some coffee. I'll let these people pull out, since I always hate when people block me in parking spaces. There we go. All right, awesome. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Don't let anybody touch my car. Alright, nobody touched my car, did they? I didn't think so. Alright, wait for it, wait for it. Oh, there we go. It's actually real quiet. It's a lot quieter than my last Challenger. If you're unaware, let me get on the road here and then we'll start talking. Come on, people. This is turning into a long vlog video. I had a 2014 Challenger, and I actually only had it for 10 months. And I never really got tired of it. I was friends with the owner. I called him up and asked him, tell me about these new. Don't tell me about these new Challengers. These, and we talked for a little bit, and I asked him how bad I would screw myself if I traded mine in. And the answer was a lot. Obviously, only having a vehicle for 10 months is not a very smart choice, financially at least. And yeah, I was underwater on it still. And oh, good, you're turning. I had it 10 months. I had 2,000. In fact, on my way to the dealership, I turned over 2,000 miles. So, for all intents and purposes, it was still a brand new car. I don't know. I'm not 100% sold on this model yet. And we'll go over that in a minute. Let's go fast. Woohoo! That's a ticket right there. Oh, camera shake. I'm not 100% sold on this year's model yet. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a good-looking car, just like last year's and the year before and the year before. So I think the Challenger, since they brought it back in, was it 2010 or 11 maybe? I'm not 100% sure of that. I think they're all amazing-looking cars, and I think as far as the the recreation of the popular 60s muscle cars, I think the Challenger is one of the best-looking recreations that they've done. I would have to follow that very closely with the Camaro. I never really liked the Mustang. I mean, don't get me wrong. Again, it's a good-looking car, and I think the new Mustang this year, I really think they screwed up on it. I don't like it at all. Last year's model, I think, was the end of an era of the good-looking ones. I think they were worlds ahead of the the 90s round, just ugly, not Mustang-looking Mustangs. And the Camaros, I think they just always looked, ever since they remade it to attempt to mimic the old Camaros, I think they all just look pretty amazing. And yeah, pretty cool. The Challengers, now I am not brand specific, and you'll see that here, not the Challengers, the Chargers, I think are ugly, just ugly. I don't think the Charger should not be a thing. I have no idea why they chose to go the route they did with the Charger, but they did, and it is what it is. But I just think they're butt ugly. What other cars did they make? I don't know. Anyway, back to the looks of this car. I believe that this year is not as good of a looking car as last year's. I knew they were going to change the design. I read about it long before the model even came out, and they were supposed to mimic, previous years were supposed to mimic the 1970 Challenger as far as design goes, and this year they were supposed to move up to the 71, which they were for the most part accurate, which was mostly a convenience update, an interior update. The exterior didn't get a huge update, but I'm gonna have to mount that camera better. It's wiggling back there. The exterior, we'll start with what I don't like. What I don't like about the exterior is it's got the split grille and the split taillights now, and I just don't like that. I like the single solid light across the back. I like the single solid grille trim in the front. I mean, it's just me. Maybe I got no clue what I'm talking about, and that wouldn't be surprising at all. But I believe the back end of the car looks like it's trying to be a Camaro, and the front end looks like it's trying to turn into a GTO, which is just not cool. Both being GM products, Dodge should be ashamed of themselves. Anyway, what I do like, well, there's one more thing I don't like about the exterior. I noticed they didn't go, and this is kind of petty, I know, but I noticed they didn't go with exhaust tips. They have fake exhaust tips, which is kind of sucks. They're just imitation tips, where in previous years they had actual tips on both pipes coming out the back, and I think that's kind of cheap. And I'm a little disappointed that they took that route. I can't see why they would do it. But maybe saving money, obviously. But you know, the tips on my 2014 Challenger are actually functional to divert exhaust out the rear end of the vehicle, whereas these tips are just for looks. They're not even attached to the exhaust system, which kind of sucks, but we can remedy that with a little bit of cash and some time. We can find something to put on it, or have put on it, because I don't put stuff on cars. I like driving them, not working on them. Now, what I do like about the exterior is just about everything else. The ram air, it was pushed forward quite a bit, probably twice as far on the 2014. It's on like the last 25% of the hood towards the windshield. On the 2015, it's on the first 25%. So it kind of gives it a kind of a beefier, tough look that I think is kind of cool. And yeah, just everything else. They kind of held true with the design as far as everything else goes, which is, oh, now we're on a bad road. That there's an earthquake going on in that camera now. The interior, however, and this is where it gets good. This is the reason I'm driving this car right now. I love the interior. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have that nostalgic feel to it. My last one kind of almost did, in a new kind of way. But the remake of the interior, I think, is just amazing. This particular vehicle has aftermarket hand-stitched leather seats, armrests, center console, and all that fun stuff, which is pretty nice. I found it hard to feel a difference when I sat in this one with the hand-stitched leather, and then I sat in one that had factory leather, and I'm told that the factory leather was a lot more uncomfortable, which I just don't see. But of course, I didn't spend much time in one with factory leather. I really, really love the, you know, all the, I think you can see, yeah, you can see all the little gizmos on the dash, and I mean, call me a new era person. I know not everybody likes all the fancy stuff, but I do. I like the fancy stuff. And the instrument cluster, I think, is pretty cool too. I think the speedometer is fairly worthless. It just doesn't seem to read right. It might be the angle of attack that you're looking at it is just all wrong. But like, for example, where I live, we have a speed limit of 55 miles an hour. And when you can't see it, the needle at 55 miles an hour. So I have right at the top of my gauge cluster my little digital speedometer activated, and I pay a lot more attention. Most of the gauges in here are all digital. You've got a tach and a speedometer that are your standard old dial gauges. I mean, obviously they're digital too, but they have a little needle in there that moves. And then you have like your true digital gauges, which right now is on my average fuel economy, temperature, blah blah yada yada, miles left in my tank speedometer, my temperature gauge and fuel gauge. That's all. It's basically everything in between the tach and the speedometer is just a big screen that displays stuff, and it's editable too, which is freaking awesome. The previous cars that I've had that have had some kind of digital something on the dash, it was never editable. This is, I could move stuff to where I want, tell it what to say, when to say it, so that's pretty awesome. God, these roads out here suck. They really do. I just have to throw that in there really quick. These roads suck. What else? I don't know what else about this car. I mean, as far as interior features, it's almost 100% loaded. I didn't opt for the 8-inch, I believe, touchscreen. I opted for the, I don't know what it is, 5.5-inch, I think. And it just simply wasn't, I didn't see the big deal in the extra few inches for the price. And that's kind of funny, I guess, coming from somebody who uses a Galaxy Note as a phone. You know, but I don't know. It is what it is. All in all, though, I like the car. I do see a big disconnect in it, and this, I know it sounds funny for people that don't like cars, and I'm not a big car person, really. But when I drive this car and I look at this car, to me, it's just a car, and it is what it is. My 2014 is special, you know, and that's kind of weird to get that feeling from it, you know, when you stop off at a store or something and you got to look back at it 3 or 4 times before you walk away. I'd really like to burn the tires here, but there's always a cop that parks right up here. Oh, he's not there today. Darn it. So yeah, anyway, we're approaching our destination. I'm probably going to shut the camera off when I go down the road, because I don't want to show the world on YouTube the laid out directions to other people's houses, you know, so I'm sure you can understand that. But I'll obviously turn the camera back on when we're leaving and headed back home. This could be a really, really long, boring vlog for somebody to watch. Alright, so now we go back home. Another fun-filled trip. Of course, I'm not stopping for coffee this time. I think I've had my fill of coffee. I always liked it out here. I don't know if you guys can see the scenery. I mean, it's kind of this is where I grew up, kind of, second half of my childhood at least, and I always liked it out here. The ability to go ride dirt bikes wherever we wanted, and we used to actually race the sheriff, the sheriff deputies in their cruisers on our go-karts and dirt bikes. You don't do that really anymore. In fact, I moved away from here in 2008 when I bought my house. Moved 10 miles down the road in the nearest town. And shortly before then, I almost got in trouble because I was riding my quad to my parents' house, which was just a couple miles down the road. But yeah, a lot of that started when the people from the city started moving up here and complaining about the dirt bikes riding down the road, or the cows mooing in the morning, and just stupid stuff like that. But I don't know, it is what it is. You know, as a community to live in, I think it's gone downhill because of a lot of that. Now they're talking about placing restrictions on how many dogs people can have, and you know, anything more than a certain number, they want them to get a kennel license. And this, I mean, this isn't even the you know, the animal control or anything. This is the local homeowners association, which is kind of stupid. Hey, there's Bill. I used to work for Bill. I don't know if you guys saw him out the windshield walking down the side of the road. He's a local contractor, built a lot of the houses out here. And one of my first jobs when I moved up here was working for him. Didn't know anything about building anything, but yeah, and now, all these years later, his son is actually the one that's doing my house for me. So, go figure, huh? Anyway, yeah, homeowners association kind of sucks. That's one of the reasons I bought where I bought, was because there's none there. And I guess they got their plus and minuses, kind of similar to unions, but I always felt like this one was definitely a minus. There was no plus about it at all. So, good times, guys. It almost looks like it's trying to get nice outside. Oh, except over there. So God, what have I been doing? I've been, I don't know how many people are still watching. Probably not too many. But 35 mile an hour zone. I've been doing a lot. I've been very, very busy. Look, cows. I've been very, very busy with work. Work has been absolutely ridiculous since about October, and which kind of sucks because my reptile YouTube channel, I was just kind of, you know, getting back into the swing of things around then, and then work just went crazy, and which isn't a bad thing. I mean, it keeps me very busy for a lot of hours. It's a bad thing if you know, hold any importance to your personal time off, but yeah, as far as the bank goes, the bill keepers, I guess it's a good thing. So turn it off. So yeah, I've been working a lot. That work has pretty much taken up every minute of my time. I have these, you know, special times where I can come out on a nice, mostly cloudy, as you can see the sun came out, somewhat sunny Saturday morning, and enjoy driving my car. But for the most part, especially Monday through Friday, it's just work. I get home, I don't want to do anything. I go to bed, get up at 3, 4 o'clock the next morning, go back to work. Yeah, it is what it is. So I don't even know if the audio is good from back there. I'm just using the built-in microphone on the camera, and it's obviously way back. Oh, pothole. It's obviously way back there, and hopefully it's good enough to post the video. Otherwise, I went to a lot of parties at that house when I was younger. You guys couldn't see it, obviously. Those were the good old days when you go out to a party underage, unfortunately, which I don't recommend now being a parent, but you know, somebody eventually calls the sheriff and you just get a bunch of people piling in the back of a bunch of trucks and taking off across the countryside before the sheriff gets there. Yeah, those are some good times. But as I said, I don't recommend people do that now. More cows. From the sun. I don't really know what to say other than just enjoy the scenery on the way back. We're, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes out. Maybe we should go fast. Maybe we should make it 2 minutes out instead of 5 minutes out. Love the feeling, hate the gas mileage. Come on, bird, watch out. Love the traction control, too. Belly bump. I think I'm probably destined to get my first ever speeding ticket in this car, unfortunately. I guess it couldn't be too much of a funner car to get it in, though. But that makes me a bad role model. Cows. Did you guys see those cows? They were kind of little cows. You might not have seen them over the hood. And a truck going the same way we're going.
I'm definitely going to have to find a new way to mount that camera because I can see it wobbling around all over the place. Oh, that's a water agency truck. What's he doing on a Saturday? They do here. They got a bunch of horses. It's a big ranch. They got a bunch of horses. I don't know if you guys can see them out the window here, but what they do. I don't know if they it's just like a horse ranch or somebody's private land, or if they do anything. I got to assume by the I couldn't read the sign. I never noticed that sign. God, I passed by it a million times. I've never noticed a sign there. I always see all this crap parked up here, and they got to do something. It kind of sucks not being able to drive with music, but I don't want to get a copyright flag on this if I even post it to YouTube. I mean, it's such a long video, I might not even post it to YouTube. But I don't want to get a copyright flag on it if I do, and so I can't play music while I drive. Which makes me so sad. I was hoping he was going to turn left. Oh, he's turning left again. He's following us, ahead of us. Following ahead, and it's really sprinkling. First time my car's ever been out in the rain. Or the sprinkles. That means I gotta be a little more careful with the gas pedal. So anyway, as I was saying, with work, work really picked up last October, and it's like not showing any signs of slowing down, which kind of sucks. I mean, I guess it is what it is. I can't really. So many people are out of work right now. I can't complain about having too much work. But like I said, it does kind of cut into your personal time. On your weekends, before and after your work schedule on your weekdays, and I am very thankful that I have weekends off. You know, a lot of people have to work on the weekends, and that has got to kind of suck. But yeah, anyway, a lot of work. That's kind of why I haven't been around posting any YouTube videos and really much, and when I do, you know, it definitely hasn't been to my vlog channel. That's always, I guess, been just kind of kicked to the curb for whenever I have time, like today. But I've still, what's this going to be, like a 20-minute video here after editing, which I still have to edit, so obviously it might sit on the sidelines for a little while longer unless I get time to edit it real soon. Oh boy, here comes the rain. Here it is, it's here. First time my windshield wipers have ever been on in this vehicle. You guys saw it here first. You should feel special. Never had them on before. I don't really like having my car out in the rain. guess it doesn't matter. It's got to happen sometime. Better on a day when I don't have anywhere to be, I guess, huh? And now we are pulling into my hometown, or the town where my home is currently located. That was the fire chief. His name's Ken. He lives right there. He just turned in behind us. He's a good guy. When I was a firefighter years ago, I used to work with him. Separate jurisdictions. He's the fire chief in this town that I live in now. When I was a firefighter, it was not in this town though. It was just in the next jurisdiction over. Actually, our area where I worked included this town. We were a state fire service, whereas he is the chief of the city fire service. So our area included this entire town, which is kind of cool. The cops walking around in the rain. What are they doing? Oh, they got the Boy Scouts doing something here at the military memorial. That's kind of cool. It's nice to see that kind of stuff getting some attention. Getting close to home. And again though, I'm probably going to shut the camera off because I don't want to show everybody all over the world where I live and my home and all that stuff. So anyway, we could turn these off because it's ridiculous having them on when it's not raining anymore. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you made it till the end. I don't, you know, I'm not upset if you didn't because I probably won't either. I barely made it to the end of filming this. So anyway, we'll catch you next time. Hopefully the vlogs will come more and more. Have a good one, guys. See you later.